The video you are watching now traveled thousands of miles from a Google data center to reach you. The data center, which can be thousands of miles away from you, has your video stored inside it. How does this data reach your mobile phone or laptop? Well, it is done with the help of a complicated network of optical fiber cables, which connect between the data center and your device. Optical fiber cables. We saw at the beginning that the video you are currently watching is stored inside a data center. To be more specific, it is stored in a solid-state device within the data center. This SSD acts as the internal memory of a server. The server is simply a powerful computer whose job is to provide you the video or other stored content when you request it.
Smartphones touch every element of our lives, but did you know that they also connect nearly every element on the planet? In fact, of the 118 elements on the periodic table, 75 can be found inside a smartphone. These raw materials are extracted from the ground and shipped to refineries and factories in a truly global supply chain. Many so-called rare earth elements are also used in smartphones, in the screen, the speaker, and the motor that makes your phone vibrate. About 85% of rare earth elements are produced in China. Despite their name, rare earth elements are not particularly rare, but they are hard to extract without producing toxic and radioactive byproducts. The Democratic Republic of Congo, a dangerously unstable country with a poor human rights record, produces more than half the world's cobalt, another crucial element in smartphone batteries. Indium, another metal, is used to make touchscreens.
I started working last year in the content moderation industry. It's outsourced from an international social media app. Because it was my first job after graduating, I rested for 3 months, then I applied for a job. Actually, it's my final interview with another company, but Douglas pulled me to attend this initial interview. Then I applied for a voice account, but sadly, unfortunately, I didn't pass. Then they offered me this non-voice commercial content moderation. I didn't have any knowledge about my job because it was my first time. Then I passed the initial interview. Then they gave me a schedule for a final interview. Then the interviewer said, "Tell me about yourself." I know how to edit, like cropping. Then the shortcut keys, they asked me what different shortcut keys I knew. Then there was a logic example also. Find the difference in the different photos. Then, luckily, I passed the final interview. They offered me the job offer and contract within the day, 1 day process. Then we went through a process for 6 months, and then we became a regular employee. Ultimately, our competitors are from India. Because it's not voice work, they just go for Indian salary. Here in the Philippines, we have a standard of pay, so they go to the cheapest contract. My salary is $2 1 hour and one shift is 8 hour. And because we go for American time zone, so the work start at night and ends at dawn, it would generate a ticket. They can be videos, images, or text posts on the platform. We need to approve it or deny it. We need to act quickly. The metrics is all about the how many tickets we process. We do some filtering. There's a lot of tickets. It's like about 1,000 every day. We have a quota. It's like 150 tickets per hour. Before it was 100. Oh, they raised it because of the competitor. So 150 tickets per hour. So that makes it 150, but you do it at 200, 150 to 300. They often have very graphic stuff, violence, exploitation, extremism, abuse, and suicide. Hundreds of examples of distressing content during each 8 hour shift. Get through thousands of posts every single day. I know this exposure give me PTSD, but I can't take a break. I don't have the money to lose my job. It has to be continued. Someone will check my progress, and I need to do it quick. I could not speak to my friends or family about the things I saw at work because the NDA I had signed at the beginning of my contract. I don't actually know what I'm legally allowed to say and not to say. It was clear that it was being censored because people's comments about this were being deleted, accounts were being disabled. It's not allowed to work from home, unlike those who are employed directly by Facebook who do the same job. It's not like a normal job where you can go to work and go home and forget about it. The stuff you're seeing is really ingrained in your mind. The child stuff and the suicides, people working from home don't get that. The burden is put on us. Suicide and murder, self-harm, assault, violence against animals, hate speech, and sexualized violence. There are guidelines specifically set to workers viewing child pornography and are also applicable to all types of distressing image. Whatever the company is doing for the employee's well-being is not for us outsourced people on the other side of the earth. They want a machine to do it, and that's just a dream. It has to be a human behind the screen to watch it. I can't say I leave work feeling relieved or knowing I could go home and have a good night's sleep. That's not possible. It would follow me home. I could just be watching TV at home and think back to one of the horrible, really graphic tickets. I'm now seeing the content I view and work in my dreams. I remember it. I experience it again. It is horrible. You never know what is going to come next, and you have to watch it the full way through. There was one person's post I saw constantly. That's a factory guard who worked in an electronics factory. This factory has several phone assembly lines. He would get orders for the factory teachers, who don't really teach. When some student interns are becoming less obedient and want to leave the factory, these teachers need the guards to teach the disobedient students a lesson, not in class, but in the back alleys. He told the stories and shared pictures of how him and his colleagues beat those workers. He often felt excited when he got those orders and bored when there was none. He was so sincere talking about this normal business and thought those teachers had powers attaching to the right of ownership over their student interns. He also talked about there is net outside workers' dorms to prevent them from jumping. There are many horrifying stories abusing workers, torturing them, and even killing them. I can't tell if they are real or not. He posted, there is an underground chamber where the guards dismember workers they killed. We take body parts from there and toss them into the sea. He once proudly said he used special techniques to make one person looks like a jumper who suicided instead of being killed. The last post from him is they hit one intern inside the working room at night when everyone else was asleep. They hit the intern so hard that he stopped breathing immediately, and the blood and the smashed brain are splattered all over the place. They cleaned most of the blood, but some blood and small bits of his body sank to the gaps between the small components on the assembly line, and it became invisible. The next morning, none of those workers knows what happened and continued their works. Those screens were assembled into the phones and went to sell. No one knows the blood and brain are in this screen, N99 68 9 2026.
This recording is confined.
Uploading.
It was gross. And after that day, I never saw his post again.